Alright, so we covered that. Number 2, I guess. 2000. I'm gonna come out and say it. I like this one more than the first one because there was more action and stuff, and we got past. I'm not a huge fan in superhero movies if we have to sit through like half a film of origin story. I can sit through it and I can enjoy it. It's just I enjoy it if we more have here's our characters, here's the bad guy, now fight. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, so I think that everything I just said about the first movie, about there not being any Fantastic Four, I was so excited about this coming out because I'm like, not only did I sit through an origin story, I thought I sat through 90% of a movie before I got to see the Fantastic Four. This one's going to be full of adventure. It's going to be full of, just these high moments that are going to be. It's going to be a fun movie. The old comic book was so fun. It was so like spectacular and otherworldly, and it was just a lot of fun. And we get to see the Fantastic Four. And they're like bickering about wedding plans, and
yes, I will admit that was a really.
They're using their powers to steal overhead compartments on airplanes, and they're just not doing stuff that's very fantastic at all. I just found it was like it reminded me of the beginning of the Scooby-Doo movie where they're in the airport.
Oh yeah.
I felt like this was the Fantastic Four version of that.
But at least Scooby-Doo was at least kind of enjoyable. Like, what? I liked the Scooby-Doo movie kind of because I grew up with the cartoon, and the main reason I enjoyed it.
That's why I hated it.
No, I didn't like it. It's just the thing I enjoyed about it was how much they got wrong from the cartoon, and how much I could sit there and just blast holes through it without even trying.
The other thing that bothered me about the Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer was
that's rad.
Was in comics there's classic couples, Superman and Lois, Mary Jane and Peter, and we had Sue Storm and Reed Richards, who were like an iconic comic book couple, and I felt like they didn't even like each other in this movie. Like they were planning a wedding, but like he was lying to her all the time and she was all up on his grill, and there was never an enjoyable moment where they were just like happy. Even when they were getting married, it's almost like better work this time, Reed. Like it was so much. I didn't find there was any like moments there at all.
Completely gratuitous 20-minute wedding aside, the main problem I had with the writing is what they did to Galactus. Now, in my own defense, though, I had never read a Fantastic Four comic before I saw this movie. So I thought Galactus looked like how he did in the comics. I was really wrong.
Yeah, I don't think at the time, in 2007, because Iron Man had just come out, right?
Yeah, I guess so. This was after... was it though?
No, that was 2008.
This is before Iron Man still, I think.
Right. Yeah, 2008.
I think we're still before Iron Man.
So, I think that the movie industry as a whole wasn't super well with like whatever's on the page, you put it on the screen. So I think that felt like a huge purple guy with a bucket on his head is not going to sell anybody.
It's true.
We would have loved that. We would have all loved that.
Yep.
I am Galactus, destroyer of worlds.
But they made him like this big cloud. Okay, who would have played Galactus? If you could pick anybody to play Galactus, who would play Galactus?
Oh, now that's the question of the day.
Okay, this is going to sound really weird, but I can back this up. Michael Clark Duncan or Morgan Freeman, if they just took his voice and deepened it even more... Morgan Freeman would have been made an awesome.
I wish I could say your planet wasn't going to be eaten. I wish I could.
Are you choosing Christopher Walken?
No, that was from. That was from Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, right, that's true. Yeah.
But Christopher Walken would be fantastic as Galactus.
I am Galactus, destroyer of worlds.
That was amazing as well. Scott,
I think. This would be crazy, but I think Liam Neeson.
Yeah!
He's played like a bad, crazy guy, like in a good kind of way. he's awesome. He's got some legitimate movies. He's got some non-legitimate movies. But he also has some where he's just been the booming godlike character.
Narnia.
In fact, yeah, I mean, he was an exact lion, which was God, you know? And so, I think that he could pull off, right? Because you've covered his hair. He doesn't look old anymore because he's wearing his awesome Galactus mask. And his voice is just, like, pierces things, you know? And I think if Galactus esophagus chopped somebody like he does in Taken, that movie would be perfect.
I don't know what planet you live on, but I will find you, and I will kill you.
I'll find your planet.
In 2007, I'm saying the guy to play Galactus would have been Christopher Lee.
Oh. Yeah.
Right?
But even then, like
Because
Hey, at least he didn't choose Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, but I think Christopher Lee would have had like the right cadence. I think he would
You're
have
right, yeah.
the right cloud.
I think they would have had to, I think that what you might have fallen to there was a little bit more, they would have had to
give him a beard though. I don't care.
See, I don't think they would. I think they would have said, oh, he's not allowed to have a beard. Let's CGI the face out of that guy.
I don't. But I'm just saying, Christopher Lee would have been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He would have.
But back to what we were saying.
Exactly.
Duncan didn't like what they did with Galactus. I thought Galactus' part was so small in the movie that I was okay with it being a cloud.
Oh, I know, and that too.
Like, it could have been better, but I was like, what's it even matter?
Yeah.
What bothered me was that the Silver Surfer, for the first, 45 minutes of the movie, was
Does nothing.
But he's also built of, the most powerful being in the world, and then they take his power away. Within...
Yeah,
15 minutes of it.
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of Silver Surfer comics either, more DC than Marvel, but is his board really the source of his power?
I think so. But when I did all my research for what he does, whether his board is the source of his power or not, he has crazy things he can do.
Yeah,
he shifts gravity,
and he just
creates cosmic constructs. That's like Green Lantern, except without a ring. It'd be legitimate.
You know how I was saying in the first movie, Doctor Doom was super unspecific, and that's how I felt with Fantastic Four. The Silver Surfer was just flying around, and water was becoming solid, not frozen, just solid, and all this random stuff was happening that he wasn't doing, and I was I think that takes away from the specificness of the character.
Yeah, then Doom just shows up partway through, and he's like, "Yeah, trust me," and the military's like, "Okay, we'll trust you."
Okay, I'll say this though. I'll say this. Good job, Fox. Because until I went into that theater, I had no idea Doctor Doom was in that movie.
Yeah.
They kept it hush hush, and then he appeared, and I was like, Doom? I was impressed with that.
I think, though, that they could have done more with Doom. I loved what they did. I loved how he was there. Yeah. But I think that as a recurring villain, the second time he recurs should not be he no longer has powers. Because they reversed exactly what they had created. They created a character, and then they said, you know what? No, we don't want it that way. We want to fix it, probably for good reason. But they didn't fix it in a way that actually fixed it. They just made him take off his mask and get shocked with a pulse of energy, an unspecified pulse of energy.
That was never explained. That always confused me.
And now he's just a guy. He's just Victor Von Doom again. He's not Dr. Doom anymore. But then when he becomes Dr. Doom again, he's doing it in a way that's not... They could have been so much more.
Yeah.
Right? They could have done so much more with the guy. They could have... I think, the guy is... Every version of Dr. Doom I like and enjoy has Doombots, at least once.
To have the Fantastic Four as a team just pounding a bunch of Doombots would have been fantastic.
Fantastic, right? And he could have done. They just could have done so much more with him, you know. And if they had, it would have been a lot better, I think.
In my own opinion, after the first film came out, I don't know why, but I have a feeling maybe someone at Fox, when they were working on this, they said the first one wasn't a huge success. We're gonna try and make another one. We're probably not gonna get a lot of money. So I think honestly, maybe they actually just didn't care as much during the second one.
So I thought that these movies were flops, but the first one grossed $200 million. Mm-hmm. It made money for Fox.
Fail.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But the thing that bothered me the most of this movie, upset me, was the stupid plot device of Johnny Storm absorbing powers and changing powers.
What was with that? Like, that made no sense.
They only used it once, right? They only used him as like a big...
In a positive way.
They only used him in a positive way once, and the rest of it was...
Jokes.
He just ran into... And the funny thing was that when... This is another thing I noticed, is that when he first realized he's switching powers, it's because he switched powers with Sue Storm. And he can't control the invisibility. She can't control the fire. That's not something he can do. But the second time you see it happen is they're fixing this Ferris wheel, right? And he's standing off to the side, just not doing anything because we don't want to ruin everything because he can touch people. And then he does. He flies into Mr. Fantastic, and suddenly he's elastic and can't control it. But Reed Richards is like, oh yeah, I can fly. I'm on fire. Let me just fix this entire thing as fireman, right? Like that's not a like. I just felt like it was weak.
I just felt like the Fantastic Four was always fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just like. I remember I was saying about the teams. There was no team moments in this because they're always busy fighting with each other.
Yeah.
And
So-
I think that plot device was to give them something to fight about.
Yeah. All in all, the writing, it's okay. It's flawed, but no movie isn't.
That's not true.
That's super not true.
Dude, there are movies that are
great.
flawless.
Name one.
Dude, I can name a bunch. John Carter. That movie is flawless. Dark Knight.
Okay, yes, Dark Knight was pretty.
I'm talking about, like, there are flaws. Like Iron Man, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there are flaws. Like, Ant-Man was flawless.
Ant-Man was amazing.
Throwing that
I
out there.
know.
That movie's fantastic. Mad Max, Fury Road, had a script that was 4 pages long.
And it was
Flawless.
Yeah, that's great.
So those dudes...
Yeah, okay. Anyhow, so like the actors are all the same, and I sort of knew who they are now because I saw them in Fantastic Four.
That's right.
Come on, bud.
Dude, Michael Chiklis is...
These people aren't.
Look,
They're not.
Michael Listen, the name is familiar to me.
Okay, Chris Evans.
Yes, I know him.
No, Chris Evans. That was his first. Like that was the moment that everyone was like, "Oh, that's Chris Evans."
Because he had done The Perfect Score.
Yeah, and he did a couple minor things, but he hadn't done anything that put him on the map until Fantastic Four.
Had he hadn't done Cellular yet?
I think Cellular was before this. Yeah, I think Cellular was 2002. And like that was good, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's good." And then he was in Fantastic Four, and then that was what sort of solidified him here as this thing. When earlier you're like, "I only knew him because of Captain America." That's not what people knew him for at that point. This was the time when people knew him as Johnny Storm, which just shows off his acting skill when he does become one of the most iconic Marvel characters in the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
And like that, he just shows his chops.
Got me
But
there.
This is the guy that. He was the only guy that at this time when people saw this movie was maybe less known. Every one of those other people was huge at this time. Jessica Alba had just done...
Sin City.
I don't think so, but she had just done a bunch of stuff. Michael Chiklis has always been doing stuff.
Dude, that guy was blacklisted because he made a Jim Belushi biopic after he died, and then the Fat Cats in Hollywood were like, they like don't do this. They wanted to kind of protect like the secrets of that. They didn't want that movie to be made, and he just said, "I'm getting paid. I'm going to do it anyways." And so like he was blacklisted, and he was told he'd never work again. And the guy is like just kept working anyways.
Yeah.
So imagine he didn't do that, where he would be. No, that guy's beauty.
They might not have put him in Fantastic Four, and then no one would think of him as a giant rock monster.
I still say he should have been Lex. Still say he should have been Lex.
Or even Kingpin.
Or Max Lord.
Oh, bud. Oh, bud.
We're gonna do a next video of just things Michael Chiklis should play.
Okay.
10 things Michael Chiklis should have done with his life. That wasn't Fantastic Four.
No, you can still do it.
Subscribe to the Media Raptor.
Michael Chiklis, if you're watching this, you can still do things.
We
And subscribe to the
believe...
Media Raptor.
We all love Michael Chiklis.
Who
Duncan
is he
doesn't
again?
know who Michael Chiklis is, but he loves you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I offend him, I want to make a public apology like I did to Peter Dinklage.
I'm gonna tweet this video to Michael Chiklis.
Okay.
So boys. So like let's get down to business here and talk about what might have been the biggest blunder in superhero comic book movie history.
Talk to me, buddy. I'm excited about this.
It's titled the same way these ones are titled. It's titled Fantastic Four, and it was the worst.
Isn't it titled Fan4stic?
Oh, that's right. It is.
What?
Because A's aren't a letter that are useful.
Yeah.
If you have the number 4.
They changed that A to a 4.
When?
So for all you people on the internet who still write that,
Like now.
kudos.
That's what the movie's called. If you look at the poster, it's Fan4stic.
It's the worst. And like that movie was.
So Duncan hasn't seen it yet. And that's cool.
Oh, wait, no, for the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. That looks pathetic.
But you've seen the movie?
No, just like the poster, it's annoying.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but you haven't seen the movie. So Scott and I did go see it opening night in matching Fantastic Four shirts, ironically.
Very ironic.
Because we thought it was going to be bad. From the first trailer, we thought it was going to be bad. We were wrong. It was worse. If you've read stuff on the internet about how bad it was, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
There is nothing fun about this movie. There is nothing, like, enjoyable about this movie. It's just the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's like watching My Little Pony.
My Little Pony's amazing.
So, I'm not gonna diss My Little Pony because I've never experienced it.
Dude, that show's sick.
I don't know if I want
Ponies
to,
and I had to
but I want
watch
to say
it.
this about the Fantastic Four movie we just saw. It made Stretchy Bachelor Party more exciting to me, and that was the worst part of Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I hate the trope that man who in this movie is engaged to Jessica Alba, so understand that, is like, oh, a pretty girl, and loses all his power and semblance and ability to control himself. I hate that trope. It's in all kinds of other movies, it's in all kinds of other things where it's like a guy is either with a girlfriend or he's happily married, and then a different pretty girl will walk by and he's just like,
Welcome to today's society.
No, but it's not today's society. It's a
Not at all.
stupid thing people put in movies because that's how they think people act, but it's not how they act because that's insane, and I hate that trope.
Alright, anyhow.
Done.
But even that part, where everyone hates that, was better than this new Fantastic Four film.
Because at least it was trying to have fun.
In a very odd, stretch all of my clothing out so I can never use it
guy
again.
with the huge afro at the bachelor party?
Carrot Top.
Guys.
No, there
It
was this
must,
dude.
guys.
That was Carrot Top.
He was the greatest American hero. He was hiding out waiting.
Greatest American hero is a white guy, and that is not a white guy.
He was a white guy.
Look up Carrot Top. He is
Yeah,
a white
he was
guy.
white and he had like he was a white guy with a fro.
No,
He
he
was
is
legit.
Carrot Top. That's his name.
No,
We don't. I think we know who Carrot Top
I
was.
know who Carrot Top is. That's
Look it up.
Right now, I'm gonna
We're gonna
IMDb
look-
Carrot Top and see if he was in the Fantastic Four movie. Pretty sure he's not. What's on the line here, Dunk? What's on the line?
Your phone.
Nope. You're the guy who
does
challenged
that?
me. Carrot Top. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Known for. Go up.
Known for.
Movies. Just slide until you see whether it says Fantastic Four. No, it's definitely not. Oh, 2 more.
That's what he's known for. Actually, check his IMDb
No, that's
page.
all of his movies.
I'm just gonna type Fantastic Four 2 Afro guy. It's gonna be there. This is the most boring part of a video ever, but it's gonna be there. Images.
Or not.
No, it's not there. But no, there's a guy with a super sweet afro, and it's definitely not Carrot Top.
Not
Yes, it is.
Oh boy.
Internet,
I
why
can
don't you
prove it to
decide
you.
for us? Tell
I can
us,
prove
is
it
it
to you.
Carrot Top? Because it's not.
Go to IMDb. Go to Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Do it. Are you scared?
No, I'm not scared because if it was Carrot Top, I'd be like, haha, Carrot Top.
We all know who Carrot Top is. Who Carrot Top is.
Oh boy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Looks like Carrot Top's not in this movie, Dunk.
Full cast. He is.
He's not in this movie, Duncan. You're wrong.
He's not in the movie, Duncan. No, dude, he's not in the movie.
He's in the movie.
You know what? We'll leave that
No, it's not Carrot Top.
No, it's not Carrot Top. We know.
If it was the ginger guy with a huge fro who had a trunk full of like props and was like, "This is how it happens when you have a fly swatter in the bathtub," then I'd be like, "That's Carrot Top." But it wasn't. It was just a dude.
And he had a blonde afro, not it wasn't a ginger.
Dude, that guy had sweet afro.
He was sweet fro, but like he didn't need to be there.
And then the thing burped and blew the afro.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna Google that thing.
Can we just talk about the
Burps.
movie?
Yep.
So, what did you think of the effects while you're looking up thing burping?
I thought they were okay. But
I thought the Silver Surfer looked a bit fake.
They didn't improve much on the things that people and I disliked about the original one.
Yeah, like
it wasn't much of an improvement as much as it was the same thing a couple years later with a little bit more action perhaps, but the effect stayed pretty much the same. In fact, as I mentioned before, there's a part where he goes to a bachelor party and stretches to dance. It's the worst.
And his clothes
effect
stretch
ever.
with him, and it shouldn't do that.
That shouldn't be how it works. It's just
Yeah.
bad.
So, when it comes down to it, guys, can you recommend this movie?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I can recommend watching any movie except for the newest Fantastic Four movie. I'm not one to say don't watch a movie except for this new one. You should watch these ones and be happy with what we've got and hope that in the future we get something better.
Understand,
Like Deadpool.
Understand that all three of us own both these movies, so it's not even like they're not what the Fantastic Four movie I wanted, but they're watchable movies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's why I only have the Blu-ray. Usually, even if a film is so bad it's good, I'll get it on. That's why I'll get the Blu-ray, but I only have the DVD of these two, and I don't feel the need to get the Blu-ray because they're watchable. But I only watched them for the first time in almost 5 years now because we were going to review them.
I think that in HD the effects would be worse.
Actually, yeah, that too.
In HD, my arm stretches exactly the same but worse.
So here's my final thoughts on Fantastic Four movies as a whole.
Please stop, Fox. Please stop making them unless you give the rights back to Marvel and Disney.
So here's my thought on Fantastic Four movies. Of the four that exist,
Oh yeah, the Roger Corman. Are we counting the Roger Corman one?
dude, here's my final thoughts.
Okay.
Of the Fantastic Four, Roger Corman, these two, and the new one, the Roger Corman one is the best.
So
Yeah.
I disagree a little bit. I would say that purely because the Roger Corman one has a few moments where I was like, that's just terrible.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I would go Fantastic Four from 2005 first. Then I would do Roger Corman, then Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then that blunder that we saw.
Alright.
And so, but my final thought on these movies is that we're at a point in history where we can make a change. If we believe hard enough, we can make a good Fantastic Four movie. It's doable. We've seen it happen in like similar areas. And I would love it if eventually Marvel gets the rights back and makes something fantastic. Or even if Fox smartens up and does it right.
No.
I'd be fine if they can make it right. If I see another Fantastic Four movie from Fox, I'm going to say, this movie better be right or else I'm never watching a 20th Century Fox film ever again.
And that wasn't what we just saw?
Oh!
No, it was what we just saw.
Sorry.
But I want to see these characters.
I don't.
I want to see them, and I want to see them done well.
Not from Fox.
Look, I give this thing 2 after claws out of 4. It's better than the first, but that's not really saying a whole lot. What do you say, Adam? Out of 4, what do you give it?
Part 2 out of 4. Again, I'll give it 2 out of 4. I'll see you there because, like I say, it was an attempt. There's things I hated about it, like the Johnny Storm power switching thing, but there was some great team moments, like that scene when they catch the Silver Surfer. I dug that because they were doing things as a team.
Yeah.
Oh, thing scared a bear. Great.
And Scott, what were you thinking?
1.5 out of 4.
Alright.
It's not nearly as good as the first one. They just added more substance to it without changing the rushed conclusion issue and without fixing the effects. The two things that I were like, that's what makes this movie bad. So
Right.
it just wasn't any better.
And so, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I want to thank Adam and Scott for coming over and do this movie review with me.
Boom.
And this was sort of a double episode, so you know what that means? The next review is going to be my 75th review. And I already know what the movie is, and I'm going to tell you, So many people love this movie, yet I couldn't. It was just so bad. Oh, hi, Mark.
Are you going to review The Room?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
But until next time, I'll see you in episode 75, guys. But until next time, this is the Meteor Raptor saying keep cool, and I will see you guys around. Later.
I did not hit her!